Hey, it's Tpok, and welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings. We left off with just finishing one of the days, but, not, don't really remember how we got here, but I'm just assuming it's the next day at school. And here's Amane. Amane was looking over the parts that I had brought her from every angle. She let out signs of admiration. Is this okay? Foosh. What? She suddenly hugged me. Amane pushed her forehead onto mine and rubbed it round and round. Okay, ouch. Hey, that hurts, Amane. Rub. It hurts, but it feels good. Because she's holding me tightly and our foreheads are pressed together. Her ample chest pushes against me. Not only is she beautiful, but she's stylish too. They're bigger than they look, so I have no choice but to experience this. Wow, alright. So are you. You're just making up whatever you feel like. It's lunchtime, by the way. I brought the parts that An-chan gave me to the garage, but because the reaction was much more than I expected, I'm in a state of confusion. Katori, who I came here with, and Ageha, who had come along for some reason, are both staring at me with needles. After tearing Amane away from me, who was kind of like a big playful dog, I once again passed the parts to her. Please go ahead and use them. A friend of mine works in a factory that deals with the manufacture and processing of special parts. For this kind of thing, he should usually be able to make it for me. It seems that for this, An-chan looked at the engineering diagram and made something that was the same. Amane took the parts over to the glider. Well, that was a surprise. Don't say things like that about me. Katori was being pretty snappy since just now. She might be annoyed because someone else found out about our secret place. Amane, like a kid given a special... I can't read anymore. Like a kid given a birthday present, has immediately started work on installing the parts. It looks like the parts are used by the instruments in the cockpit. She diligently dismantles the older parts. Ageha, standing beside Amane, watches her work. Katori and I look entirely at this sleek aircraft, as if appreciating a work of art. Immersed in installing the parts, Ageha seems to have completely forgotten that we are there. It's like when I met Amane for the first time. What's up?
失礼します。
A female student, who looks like a senior, comes into the garage. I make a bewildered face as if asking who's she, and then Ageha tells me. Vice President of the Student Council. What on earth does she want? If you're looking for Amane... At that moment, she had her head in the cockpit. As the Vice President sees this, she briskly approaches the cockpit and peers inside. She called out in a loud voice, and Amane finally pulls her out of the cockpit. From her familiar tone towards Amane, I thought that they might have had a close relationship, but the Vice President doesn't seem that way at all. Without losing her resolute attitude, she asks her question. Amane was downhearted as she answered. The Vice President let out a little sigh. Why's that? Astonished, we look on as bystanders as the conversation continues. Amane looked down as though she was at a complete loss. For some reason, I get a strange pain inside as I look at her. Katori suddenly jumped on into this conversation. While slightly surprised that she knew who she was, Katori continued to speak. I thought I saw veins appear in the Vice President's temples as the two of them ranted at her. She thrusts forward, approaching one step, while Ageha and Katori take one back.
Soaring Club は一人であんな大きなガレージを使っているのに、どうして我々には練習場所一つないんだ。至極もっともな意見だと思いませんか？思います。それなのに申請を却下された彼らは当然納得していないでしょう。しかしこのガレージがずっと以前、それこそ我々が生まれる以前からソアリング部のものだった事実も、先生方が特例を認めるのも、あるいはそこに理由があるのかもしれません。我々生徒会もその事実を尊重したい。だから。
The Vice President turns from facing Katori and Ageha and looks back around at Amane, who is nervously listening behind her.
早急な対処をお願いしている次第です。活動実績なら先日やっとテストフライトを。あれは授業中じゃありませんか。言語道断。むしろ 廃部へ一歩近づいたとお考えいただかなければ。
Amane staggered back as if she had been hit hard. I guess that's true though, isn't it? Lessons were taking place in school when Katori and I watched the glider flying across the sky on Windmill Hill.
いいですか。部活動として認められるには最低4人、残り3人の部員を集めていただかなければ。
Amane looked down with a very grave expression.
私が自分のためにしていることだから。ならばなおのこと、部活動として認めるわけには参りません。
I'll join. I raise my hand and the others all look at me.
あなた、この間転校してきた男子ね。確か水瀬葵君。
The vice president looks at me as if she's evaluating me.
言っておきますが、幽霊部員じゃダメなのよ。
I know. That's why I came here today. I decided this morning, well, yesterday actually. Still don't know much about gliders though. I just thought it would be interesting. By just imagining flying it riding on the wind, I get excited. If Amane-senpai will allow me to, that is.
入りたいというなら別に構わないが。でもこれは私が私のためにしていることなんだぞ。
I still don't know much about gliders or about you either, Amane. But if that's what you want to do, then I'd like to help you. As I state my reasons, the vice president looks as though she isn't convinced. It looks like some transfer student who doesn't even understand the situation has come barging in, trying to act like a hero. I can't say that there isn't some element of that into it.
じゃあ私も。
Ageha raised her hand in a really casual manner. Even with everyone looking at her, Ageha appears aloof.
ロボット部と掛け持ちでもいいですか、先輩。それは構わないが。
What are you doing, Ageha?
だって面白そうなんだもん。
One person left. Everyone naturally looks over towards Katori.
何？
Katori turned her wheelchair sideways to avoid everyone's line of sight.
私は入らないよ。
As Katori says this, the vice president made a face that seemed relieved yet disappointed.
まだ一人足りないわ。これでは部活動として認めるわけにはいきません。
If it's decided that it can't be allowed, what will happen?
まずはこのガレージから出て行ってもらいます。
Amane looks really distressed. Well, of course she does. If there's nowhere to keep this giant glider, then club activities cannot continue. There's only myself and Ageha right now, so we'll get one more. Could you wait until then?
いいでしょう。では金曜日まで待ちます。それまでに体裁を整えられなければサークルに降格。ガレージは使用不可。よろしいですね。
Lacking confidence, Amane nods in agreement. The vice president leaves the garage.
ハバネさん、部活入ってないよね。名義だけでも貸してもらえないかな。他に入りたい人見つかるまででいいからさ。お断りよ。
Katori bluntly refused and left the garage.
ダメか。
We have to do something about it ourselves.
君たち。
We're sorry, Amane, that we caused things to turn out like this.
いや、助かった。君たちがいなければ廃部になってたところだった。でも本当にいいのか。
That's what I plan to do from now on.
私もいろんな意味で興味あるし。
Leave gathering members to us.
天音先輩は活動実績について副会長さんが納得するようなネタをまとめておいてください。
Is this alright with you?
何が？
today's the first time you've been in the garage, right? Even so, you've suddenly become a member.
でも面白そうなのは確かじゃん。葵もいるし。
What am I gonna do with you?
あれで空飛ぶんでしょ。ワクワクするなって方が無理だよ。
Yeah, I know what you mean. Without thinking, I raised my voice. I was happy that a Geha felt the same way.
まあ私の場合、飛ぶより飛ばす方に興味ありだけど。
I want to try and fly it, and also, she had stayed in school all this time, repeating the year over and over to do this, you know.
って噂だよ。天音先輩は授業にも出ず、いつもガレージにこもってるって。
I don't know if that's the truth or not, but what I do know is that she's taking this very seriously. I can't let it all end for some stupid reason, like there not being enough members.
まずは残りの部員集めからだね。
Let's try asking him.
グライド？何それ？ちょっと面白そうじゃん。
でしょでしょ。だからさ、あんたも入部しない？
でも俺バイトあるし、それにお前と仲良くしてるとエリちゃんやきもっち聞くからパス。
そこをなんとかさ。大丈夫、バレないって。
それがバレるんだよ。エリちゃんうちの学校に友達いるから。だからあんま話しかけてくんなよ。
彼女できた途端これだよ。私らが幼馴染でしょ。友情はどこ行った？
バンドも忙しいし無理無理。今度ライブやるんだ。だから今練習中。
冷てえの。
あいつに頼めばいいだろ、葵によ。
頼むも何もすでに部員だよ。
何？お前らまたつるんだ。
何よ悪い？あんたも仲間に入れてほしくなった？
誰があんなやつ？ペペ。
が汚なズバ飛ばすな。ったく麻婆のくせに生意気なんだから。
おいアゲハ。
何よ。
まあなんだ、今度はうまくやれよ。
は？何の話？
もうさっさと行けよ、ほら。失神。
麻婆のアホー。ダメだった。
So it was my fault after all.
彼女とバイトとバンドが忙しいってあの青春野郎。昔散々遊んでやったのにさ。
What are you talking about? If Mabo treated us like we're more important to him than his girlfriend, what do you think would happen?
コブラツイストで締め上げる。泣くまで。
So there's nothing we can do about it? Next is, oh that's right, Hotaru comes here, doesn't she? We went to the first year classroom. When students from the upper grades come to the visit, there's a strange air of tension in the classroom.
どうしたの？あーちゃん、
Oh. Oh, this is the first time I've seen you in your uniform. It suits you. When I met her yesterday, she was wearing her own clothes. You kind of look more grown up. I only said it to tease her, but she went red like she was on fire or something and got really flustered.
やだな、葵。私、大人っぽくなんか。こーら、葵。後輩をからかうんじゃない。
I'm kind of teasing her, but I do mean what I say.
それ、余計にタチ悪いから。あーちゃんの方が可愛いよ。は？私？ほら、葵。制服だって私より似合ってる。私なんて別に。麻婆には中身は男だって言われてるし。でも見た目は可愛くなったでしょ。
When Hotaru looks at me with those innocent, sparkling eyes, I cannot tell a lie. Well, yeah, I do think she's gotten cuter. Bam. Ah. I eat an elbow to the ribs. Ouch.
ありがとう。葵もまあかっこよくなったと思うよ。
Ow. She said the same thing again, this time in the first year classroom, so of course I feel embarrassed. The reason why I'm looking down is because my ribs hurt, though.
で今はそんな話しに来たわけじゃないの。
Okay, continuing with the momentum from before, talks to Hotaru about how we are looking for members for the Soaring Club.
青兄とあーちゃんが同じ部活に入るの？
そういうこと。だからホタルもどうかなって。
Glare. Hotaru glances at me. Hmm?
私いい。
どうして？
家のお手伝いあるの。
手伝いって日曜日くらいじゃない。
でもあるから。
She seems kind of wavering, yet firm in her reply. Maybe there's a reason for it. Okay, we get it, Hotaru, but if you're interested, come anytime.
できたわよ。
Katori brings over the cucumber that she had crushed into about the right size, using a wooden pestle.
こんなにしちゃって大丈夫なの？
Yeah, that way it absorbs the flavor a lot better. We're going to marinate the cucumber. It absorbs the flavor a lot more easily if it's crushed than if it's chopped with a knife.
他にやることは？
I think that's about it.
そう。じゃ
Hey,
何？
we still can't find anyone who wants to join the club. We've tried all the people we could think of.
そう。
You seem even more interested in it than we are, don't you? The time on Windmill Hill when we first saw the glider flying. The time she wandered into the garage and saw the real thing up close. The time we made the paper airplanes and flew them together. Her eyes were always shining, like a child's. I can't forget the expression on Katori's face. She's usually so sulky, or looking as though she's bored. But maybe that's what her true expression really is, I thought to myself.
私が入部したって迷惑かけちゃうだけだもん。
What do you mean? No, you wouldn't. To be perfectly honest, it would be great if you would just join the club.
だって私もうすぐ。
She stops mid-sentence and moves her wheelchair along. Hey, can I ask you a question?
ダメ。
Why do you want to drop out?
ダメって言ってるのに。
Katori looks as though she's realized something.
やっぱりあなただったのね。私の退学届拾ったの。
Withdrawal notice? What's that? Does it taste good? Can we have it with tonight's dinner? I played dumb, without hesitation.
バカ！あわ！いじめっ子！あんたなんかドブにはまって死んじゃえ！
With a barrage of parting shots, Katori hurried away. Is that the end of the day, I guess? We can't seem to find anyone. It's been 2 days since I joined the Soaring Club. Since then, whenever we've had any spare time, Aoi has been trying really hard to recruit members. Everyone was interested, yet not enough to join the club.
やっぱみんな天音先輩にビビっちゃってるのかな。
She's not that scary, is she?
じゃなくてすごすぎて。葵はほらまだ転校してきたばっかだから実感ないかもだけど、あの人うちの学校じゃ生きる伝説だから。
I know firsthand that her weirdness is legendary.
それに人間嫌いだって噂もあるしね。
The basis for such rumors is not clear, but she doesn't have any friends, hardly shows up for classes, and is locked away in the garage for the entire day. Even when she does come out, she's always alone and doesn't have contact with anyone. If you look at it like that, she certainly seems quite antisocial.
その天音先輩が率いる部活でしょ。ついていけるか心配みたい。それともう一つのあれ。
Oh, that rumor? There is something that I learned from looking for members. It is something said only in whispers, like some urban
ソア
legend.
リング部に関わると 飛岡先生に目をつけられる。
Tobioka sensei. Is that true?
さあ、でも可能性はなくはないんだな。
Oh. Tobioka Kujira sensei. His first name means whale, but he's not as big in size as you might imagine. But it's said his attitude is larger than life. I've seen him before. He's the teacher acting as moral advisor. He's the nagging and annoying type. There were a lot of teachers like that at my old school, but here it's a bit of a rarity.
飛岡先生はね、ロボット部の顧問なのよ。
In other words, the advisor to Egeha's club.
天音先輩がその昔ロボット部で輝かしい成果を上げたことは前に話したよね。
She was one step away from the national championship, you mean? Egeha nods.
それもコントローラーのボタンの押し間違いで負けたの。
I know about Mochizuki-senpai to a certain extent, but I don't think she'd be the sort of person to make such a simple mistake.
あの話には続きがあるの。飛岡先生は当時からロボット部の顧問をしていたんだけど、その時ものすごく悔しがってたんだって。
Yeah, most people would be. I would have felt the same way if I had been in that situation.
次こそはって決意してたらしいんだけど、それからしばらくして天音先輩はあっさりロボット部を辞めちゃったの。
Why?
さあ知らない。一説によると天音先輩は全国優勝を逃した時も特に悔しがってはいなかったそうよ。以来慶風学園ロボット部はその時の栄光を引きずりつつも大した結果を残せずにいる。
So you mean Tobioka-sensei blamed Amane for it? Egeha made a serious face and nodded. That's ridiculous. But I can't really say that. My last school was good when it came to sports. There's a sports scholarship program and it was important for the school to get results in tournaments. The advisors and directors of each club are evaluated accordingly. At times it may result in a turning point of their lives. The robotics club is the most popular club in this school. Its performance is directly linked with the promotion of the school. Even if Tobioka-sensei blamed Amane, I can't exactly say that it's strange. Are you okay with this?
何が？
Well, Tobioka is your advisor, isn't he? Are you alright with him keeping an eye on you?
まあネチネチ嫌み言われるかもだけど、耳栓しとけば平気でしょ。
That's not the problem, is it?
ん？
Egeha looked a little confused.
葵の言いたいことわかるよ。けどもっと大切なものがあるからしょうがないよ。
What do you mean, more important?
それはあなたたち水瀬葵君と姫木あげはさんだったよね。
Hi.
こんにちは、副会長さん。部員集めの真っ最中ってところかしら。その様子じゃうまくいってなさそうね。
The vice president gives me a bitter smile as she made her assumptions.
でもまああと一人くらいならどうとでも。言っておきますけど幽霊部員は絶対に認めないわよ。
She frankly stated.
どうしてですか？
There must be other clubs that have ghost members, right? Why is it only us? The vice president glares at us as we make our childish protests in vain.
他の小規模な文化系クラブならばともかく、ソアリング部は設備の規模が大きすぎるわ。あれだけのガレージを占有しているクラブは他にありません。ロボット部はでっかいガレージ使ってますよ。あそこは部員の数が約60名、全国大会で実績も残しています。それ残したのは天音先輩なのに。
The vice president ignores Egeha's grumbling and continues to speak.
もしソアリング部がガレージを明け渡せば、例えば軽音部と和太鼓研究会の練習スタジオに改造することもできます。他にもラジコン部や写真部、英検なんかも欲しがるでしょうね。中を仕切ればそれら複数の部の活動場所として再利用も可能よ。そう考えると幽霊部員を集めて形だけの部活動なんて認められるわけがありません。ごもっともです。
Egeha Geha and I felt small as we looked downwards. We became embarrassed about expressing our childish
です
opinions.
が
She let out a little woo as she sighed.
あの望月先輩が声をかけるならついてくる人もいるはずです。
In other words, you're not making any unreasonable demands.
当然です。私は別にソアリング部を潰したいわけじゃありません。他の部に示しがつかないこの状況を是正したいだけです。
But Amane isn't attempting to recruit members by herself.
それがもどかしくてたまらない。ここはこの私が悪役を買って出てでもそこまでは言ってません。いいですか？ちゃんとした部員を見つけること。幽霊部員なんて絶対に認めませんからね。
The vice president reminded us as she walked away.
あかりさんって厳しいけどいい人だよね。
Yeah, she doesn't seem very flexible though. She seems familiar with the students' names and profiles, and it looks like she wouldn't be able to get away with abusing the power that comes with the position. But it's strange, isn't it?
何が？
That although Amane suddenly left the robotics club, she's kept pace with the Soaring Club for years. Until she became the super repeat student.
そういやそうだね。
Even so, she isn't trying to get any new members.
やっぱり本当に人間嫌いなのかも。
The more I know about this situation, the less I understand it. After school, Ageha and I headed to the Soaring Club's garage. After all, we're already members.
すまないな君たち。
As she looks at us, Amane bows her head in apology. Cut it out, Amane.
そうですよ。天音先輩にそんなことされちゃなんかこう寿命が縮みそうです。
もしダメだったらおとなしくここを出ていくつもりだ。移転先はまだ探している最中だが。
Does that mean you're giving up on the club? Amane nods apologetically. Amane, why don't you look for new members yourself?
それは私が自分のためにしていることだから。
Is that
誰かを巻き込む理由がない。
is that what she really thinks? Is that because you don't want to let anyone come near this place? If so, then we...
そんなことないぞ。見学ならいつでも大歓迎だ。
But how about becoming members?
わからない。そうしないとここにいられなくなることは分かってる。それはすごく困る。でもどうするべきなのか。私はまだその回答を見出せていないんだ。
If we ask any more questions, all we'll be doing is cornering her even more. Anyway, once you've built the glider, what do you plan to do next?
大会に出場するとか？
We can use the club's objectives as material for our recruitment drive. As far as the quick track that we did goes, apparently there are competitions for gliders too.
大会？いや、そういうものに出場する予定はないぞ。
So what are you gonna do?
行きたい場所があるんだ。
Amane gave a smile, and it seemed just like she was about to start reminiscing about old times. A place you want to go to.
イスカが言ってたんだ。グライダーが完成すればそこへ行けるって。
Isuka? She said the name before. It will fly to the sky that Isuka spoke of. Looking as if memories had come flooding back, she looked into the photo frame on the desk. The photo frame without a photo. She looked like she had gone into her own little world, and it didn't seem that we could ask her any more questions.
それじゃあ私たち
To search for people who might join the club. Whatever answer Amane gives, avoiding having the club status repealed was the top priority.
すまない。
いえいえ、その代わり天音先輩は活動実績のまとめ作っておいてくださいね。
分かった。
It was past 9 o'clock at night. In the kitchen, I was washing the dishes for 5 people. In the dormitory, there were 6 people, including myself, but Katori didn't show up for dinner or to help prepare beforehand. She was shut away in her room. Just in case, I put her dinner in the fridge. If she gets hungry, she can eat it whenever she wants. Maybe she's feeling down. Why does she want to drop out of school? Is it because of what Ageha said? That it was because of the argument she had with the girls in the class? Is it because the lessons are boring? Or could it be something I don't know about? It's possible. It could even be something that not even she understands. I, of all people, can't really say anything about other people. I don't think that anyone would understand the real reason why I came back to this town. To be honest, I still haven't really solved things for myself yet. As I began to feel kind of down, I was surprised to hear the sound of footsteps stomping down the hallway. Kanako? What is it? Could it be that you were attacked by a pervert? That's random, alright. While I had my back to her, I couldn't stop my eyes from looking around in her direction. Someone had taken Katori's clothes off. No, that can't be it. Dude, get your mind out of the gutter. Oh, why don't you let her take a bath? In the bathtub. The wheelchair was in the bath's dressing room. It was the wheelchair that Katori used when in the bathroom. She always used that when she took a shower. I've never seen her do that, of course. She can't get into the bathtub while still in the wheelchair. For her to get in the bathtub, she needed someone to help her. According to what I'd heard, Katori has an older sister. She only gets into the bathtub when she comes here. Anyway, her sister hadn't come around here recently. At least not since I'd become the dorm mother. What? Kanako seemed to say I'm not coming with you as she left me by myself. Hey, wait. As she left me behind, I turned to face Katori. Alright, shall I help you get in? She was glaring at me with an angry look on her face. Oh, sorry, my foot fell asleep. Yeah, but... Hey, hold on. Katori went into the dressing room and closed the door. If she does that, I can't exactly go barging in there all of a sudden. If you have any problems, call me right away, okay? She replied in a scary voice. There's nothing else I can do, so I wait outside. I sit down in front of the dressing room door, just like I'm guarding it. Ooh, missed it. I'm the only one who has to set time. Oh, everyone else, I'm assuming, can go whenever they want. If I inadvertently run into any of them in here, I just can't get away with an apology. From the bathroom, I could faintly hear the sound of the shower. She must be washing herself off before getting into the bath. I can hear the sound of the water lightly splashing. I feel kind of nervous. The limited information I get from the sound actually stirs my imagination. I am strongly aware of the fact that Katori is getting into the bath. What am I thinking? If she knew what I was imagining, she'd probably try to tear me apart limb from limb. As I try to clear the thoughts from my head, splash. I react by bolting upwards. I open the dressing room door and dash inside. Are you okay? I jumped into the bathtub and lifted Katori out, while she wriggled and struggled with her hands out of the bath. Hey, snap out of it, Katori. Katori was still panicking and clung desperately as I rescued her. You're okay now. Katori looked at me. It looked like she didn't know who or even what she was clinging to. It's alright, everything's fine now. Katori weakly nodded while still holding on to me tightly. I continued to hold on to her to calm her down. Both of us suddenly realized that we'd failed to what we had failed to realize before. Katori was stark naked and I was holding her in my arms. I'm sorry. For a moment we didn't say anything, but she couldn't exactly kick me out, so we just held on to each other. Oh hey, a train's coming. Sorry. Katori tries to hide her chest, but squeezes even closer towards me. It's okay, I'm not looking. Katori goes bright red and looks like she's about to cry. I'll go now, sorry. I was about to put Katori down on the floor. What does that mean? And also sorry for the train horn. I thought that if I went to call for Kaneko that everything would be cleared up. Squeeze. Weakly yet desperately she held on to me. But Katori's hands were shaking slightly. I remember that time when we first met on Windmill Hill. Okay. I nodded, and it seems like her shaking has subsided a little. We stayed like this for a while, and Kaneko poked her head into the bathroom to take a look. She put clothes on, so that's something. Well, this and that. So this is the result of ignoring Kaneko's advice. But if we were to say something like that in front of the tearful, shaking Katori, I would feel really bad for her. It seemed that Kaneko was implying the same thing. Could you grab a bath towel? Then could you cover Katori up? While Kaneko put a towel around her, Katori quietly held on to me. After that, Katori calmly got into the bath with Kaneko. Kaneko also made sure not to meddle unnecessarily, and was very considerate toward Katori to help her calm down. While I was doing the dorm mother's jobs in the kitchen, Katori had gotten out of the bath and come to see me. She looked pretty embarrassed. Well, never mind. I stopped myself from saying something like, that's just another one of the dorm mother's jobs. I didn't know how to answer, and Katori left me behind and went back to her room. And that's the end of that day. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. And I will see you all next time. Oh, it went that way. I don't know what was going on. Lots of music. Bye.